We do have a quorum anyway.
Perfect. And I do have 4 o'clock on my computer. Do you have someone else that's signing in right now, Larry, or?
No, we're all, those
all
that
good?
want in are in.
Good. Okay, well, welcome everyone to our Committee of Adjustment meeting this nice and sun-shining afternoon. It's so lovely to see after that cold weather we've been having. Before I call the meeting to order, just a few housekeeping items since we are on a Zoom call. If I could ask that you keep your mics muted until you're called upon to speak. That way we won't get any background information and noise. And to advise you that this is being recorded, and it's my belief that we'll be able to search it up. If you want to see all our lovely faces one more time on YouTube, you can watch it again. So again, welcome. We have regrets then, I believe. None that were brought in?
No regrets.
Okay, so fine. And do we have any calls for deferral, withdrawal of any matters before the committee?
We don't.
None. Okay. And do we have any changes to the order or the hearings?
No, Madam Chairperson, we don't.
Perfect. Okay, at this time, I'd ask all members, is there anyone who wishes to declare a pecuniary interest? No, seeing none. We'll move on to our agenda item, and I will be following the agenda package that's been provided today. And just to let you know that we will be looking at each application, and they shall be reviewed with the provided information, and no precedent shall be set by any application, as each one will be required to meet the 4 tests that I will state after each decision is made. So I will go into number 3, minutes of our previous hearing.
And just before we do, Madam Chairperson, sorry for interrupting, but we have received, for the record, regrets from member Matt Duff.
Okay, thank you very much. So noted. So I have a recommendation that the minutes of the Township of Mapleton Committee of Adjustment hearing held on April the 14th, 2021 be confirmed as circulated in the agenda package. Can I have a mover? Bob Stanners, member Bob, and a seconder is member Sheik. I'll call the question. All those in favor? And those against? That is carried. And was there any matters arising from the minutes? No. Okay. That moves us into our first hearing for today. It's hearing number A202104, Riser, S&J. The location of the subject property is described as Part Lot 16, Concession 3, RP 61R11541, Part 9, and its municipality known as 17 Cumpville Drive East. The subject property has an area of approximately 0.14 hectares or 34 acres. And its public hearing package shall be known as A2021-04. So the purpose of this and effect of the application is to provide relief from the front yard setbacks requirements. The applicant is proposing to construct a new 72.8 square meter or 784 square feet garage. The proposed variance is being requested in order to permit a reduced front yard setback of 10.7 meters or 35 feet. An additional relief is required for section 6.10 of the zoning bylaw, which precludes development with frontage on an open and maintained street. So at this time, I'd call upon our Secretary Treasurer regarding the notifications and comments received to date.
I'll just be with you just 1 second. Madam
Thank you.
Chairperson. I'm just sending out a couple of agenda packages. So
You multitask well, Larry.
I don't know about that, but just give me 1 moment. Oops. There we go. Staff, excuse me, staff can confirm the following. Property owners and agencies were provided with required notice by prepaid first-class mail on April 28th. Proper postings were completed on April 29th. Planner comments were prepared by Matt Daou, who's on with us today. CBO Patty Wright comments are included in the agenda package, and Patty is with us today. Fire Chief's comments are in the agenda package, sorry, as our Public Works Director, Sam Martinez. No comments were received from either Wellington Source Water Protection, the Grand River Conservation, or ratepayers.
Thank you. So at this time, I'll ask our Township Planner, Matt Daou, to provide his comments for this, please.
Perfect. Thank you. And through you, Chair, before you today is minor variance application to provide relief from the minimum front yard setback and frontage requirements. The applicant is proposing to construct a 784 square foot garage located 35 feet from the front lot line, whereas the bylaw requires a minimum of 60 feet in terms of a front yard setback. The applicant has indicated the required 60 feet location would not be viable given the grading on the lot and the location of the septic and well on the property. As previously mentioned, upon speaking with staff, it was highlighted that Cumfield Drive East is not deemed a street, but rather a private road. And as a result, additional relief was added for the absence of frontage on said street. With that said, planning staff have no concerns with the application as the request is minor, meets the intent of the official plan and zoning bylaw, and I welcome any questions.
Thank you. Well, this time we'll move on to 5.15 and asking the owner. I do see the name, and I also see Mr. Martin from Country Lane Builders. So wondering if either of you have any comments or anything you'd like to share with the committee.
Thank you for taking our application. I have no further comment. I think it was well represented. And our intent would be to make something beautiful. And also the ability to not have a steep driveway was the main intent. We've got a very much a sloped lot. And so that was part of this recommendation that we made to have a driveway that's not so on the steep incline side. That's all.
Thank you for your comments. Is there anyone else attending today that would wish to speak to the proposed? I don't see anything. So at this time, I'll go through the committee members and ask if they have any questions to our planner or to the applicant. And I'll just go alphabetically. So I guess I'm starting with you, Member Sheik.
Okay, I guess my first question, I did a site visit. I'm not really familiar with this side of the lake that well. Is this a year-round living residence? It is. I'm seeing a couple of people shaking their heads. Okay,
Yeah.
it is year-round. Okay, so if if the proposal is to only have 35 feet frontage, I'm just looking at, I'm thinking about snow. Where does snow go on this site when you're bringing the house that much closer? There's trees on the east side of the property. There's trees and a well. I'm just thinking snow removal for the winter. Like, is there an offsite? If we're reducing that frontage, where is the snow going?
We have, if I can speak to this, we have 18 feet side yard on the left elevation as viewed from the street. So there's lots of snow pile capabilities on the left side of the garage and on the right side. And I will add that the existing house is also forward from the bylaw setbacks. So we are aligning more closely with the existing house is what our intent is.
Okay. Okay. So is there, I'm not sure really, Lori, who this question is directed to, but is there, like with the driveway, I see that it comes in, is there any sort of setback that a driveway to a property line? Is there any sort of, anything on that? Patty, I guess maybe would be the person that question is being directed to.
No, there's nothing in the bylaws. You can bring a driveway right up to the side of the property line as long as if it's a new entrance, it's approved by the Public Works Department. And there's no hydrants too close, hydro poles, transformers, or anything of that nature. Otherwise, you'd be required to have a setback.
Okay. I think that's all the questions I had.
Thank you, Member Sheik. Member Stanners, do you have questions or concerns?
Yes, thank you. Through you, Chairperson Woodham. Whenever I went and looked at this, it sure let me know which property it was. There's a flat pad of concrete out there, and I understand, looking from the scorched trees, that there was a garage there that burnt. And lucky that we also didn't lose a cottage beside her in the fire. I think it was, looking at it, the property, the new building will be basically farther back from the street from that thing. And I think that they've done as best they can and really utilizing that space. It's good for a basement garage area, you know, for that, the boat, the snowmobile, the lawnmower, the everything else that we all seem to collect nowadays. My only concern was that unfinished storage area. I just did that, like when I seen the balcony out there and I thought, oh yeah, here's going to be an apartment up here before we even know about it. But then I'm hoping that balcony is just as an access area to get stuff into that upper area, but I also don't want that upper storage area to be used as a residence. Thank you.
Okay. Member Sheik, do you have something, question again?
Nope.
No, okay. Yeah, just follow up to that, I guess my question directly to, if it's Mr. Martin, you know, is there any chance that there is going to be living quarters in that top section? That was the first thing that jumped out at me. Why do we need, it looked almost like sliding doors and a balcony. So yeah, that kind of thought, maybe, is that going to be like a bunkie house up there, or?
What our clients asked us to do, and that is correct, they lost a garage in a house fire. Tragically, they lost some equipment and all that, so they asked us to come in and draw a new building. Phase 2 of their desired plans, they're a growing family. Phase 2 of this plan is to attach it to the house eventually. They can't afford it today, but tomorrow, hopefully we can attach it to the house, and we have concept plans in place to do that, after which the top story of the garage will be accessible from the top story of the house. So today it's a storage room, accessible only by an attic hatch or hold down stair, future-proof for something different. I don't know if we'll do that balcony or not, but that's what the intent was there.
Okay. Perhaps at this time I'd follow up with our planner in understanding those comments that were just shared with us.
Yes, thank you. Through you, Chair. It's that's the understanding that I had as well. There was sort of a phased building approach here. As you had all mentioned, you know, the residential quarters are not permitted in the Mapleton bylaw. So, you know, if now becomes a bylaw enforcement issue, if that is the case.
Okay.
So, you know, I imagine the builder as well as the applicant has heard loud and clear on that front. But in terms of a phased approach, there's no issues on that front.
Thank you. So at this time, I'll ask, does anyone else have any other questions or concerns to either the applicant, planner, building department? Seeing none, I think I'd like to bring forward a recommendation. I don't hear any concerns from the members nor from myself. So I have a recommendation here that the minor variance applied for in application A202104, located at 17 Cumpville Drive East, legally described as Part Lot 16, Concession 3, RP 61R11541, Part Lot 9, to provide the following relief as proposed. The minimum front yard setback to 10.67 meters or 35 feet. The frontage on the street is like, how do I say this then, Michelle? I just say it because it's a private road, it's not applicable? Sorry, I don't know. I'm reading it. It just says private road,
No,
proposed
that's,
private road.
Sorry
How
for it.
about existing is acceptable?
Existing is accessible. Thank you.
Just a thought.
Okay, so I'll read it again. Under the frontage on a street, existing is acceptable. And if I'm calling the question then to all our well, maybe I'll ask one more time to my committee members. Does anybody have any questions or concerns of this motion? Then I shall call the question. All those in favor? All those against? And the motion is granted. So I'd like it to be known that we, the committee, find that the 4 tests have been considered, that the variance is minor in nature. The variance requested is desirable for the appropriate development or use of lands, buildings, or structure. The variance maintains the general intent and purpose of the official plan. The variance maintains the general purpose and intent of the zoning bylaw. So at this time, we have taken circulation of our attendance. So I will call this hearing of minor variance A202104 is now concluded. Just to let you know then, Mr. Martin, that 20-day appeal period will start and that it will expire on Tuesday, June the 1st. So I'm sure you'll be contacting the building department shortly thereafter.
Thank you,
Thank you for attending.
everyone.
If I may, through Chair.
Yes,
Gerald, when you have the package together, go ahead and send it in and we'll review it as we have time. And then there shouldn't be any delays after the appeal period's up.
Thank you.
okay, so that moves us back into our agenda package and we're on 5.2. Hearing number A202105, Coster Home Holsteins Inc. The location of the subject property is described as Part Lot 9, Concession 10, RP 60R3006, Parts 4, 8, and 12, and is municipally known as 7168 Wellington Road 10. The subject property has an area of approximately 71.39 acres or hectares, sorry, or 176.4 acres. So the purpose and the effect of the application is to provide relief from the minimum distance separation 2, MDS2, setback requirements. The applicant is proposing to construct a new dairy barn and storage for liquid manure on the subject lands. So I'll ask our Secretary Treasurer for the statement regarding notifications, comments received to date.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. The notices were mailed on April 28th. Postings were completed on April 29th. The package from the planner is included in the agenda from our county planner, Matt Doe. We received comments from CBO Patty Wright, Fire Chief Rick Richardson, and Director of Public Works Sam Matina. We did not receive comments from Wellington Source Water Protection. However, we did from the Grand River Conservation Authority. They are in the package, and we did not receive comments from the ratepayers. Thank you.
Thank you. So I see we have owner, Mr. Coster, and the applicant Edgar Coster Jr. to introduce themselves and speak to this application if you wish.
Okay, yeah, I'm here to speak for the owner. My parents were supposed to sign in, but I'm not hearing from them. So I don't know what happened there. But I hope this is good enough since I got approval and I got their signature and everything. So I'm hoping that me being here is okay. And so I'm Ed Jr. and yeah, everything you said is what we're planning to do. So I guess I don't have much to say other than that.
Okay, thank you very much. If we have questions later, we may call upon you. Is there anyone else that's signed in who wishes to attend to speak to this proposal? And I'm not seeing anyone, so at this time, I'll go through our committee members. So committee member Sheik, do you have any comments or concerns you'd like of either the planner or the, well, maybe I should ask our planner to speak to this. Matthew, you're sitting there so quiet thinking, she's forgot all about me.
I know, I thought I was gonna slip by there, but
Oh,
no,
my
I'm happy
apologies.
to,
I will ask our township planner, Matthew Doe, to give his comments, please, to this
Perfect.
application.
And again, thank you, and through you, Chair. Before you today is a minor variance application to provide relief from MDS2. As mentioned, the applicant is proposing to construct a new dairy barn and manure storage tank and cannot meet the minimum required distance to the closest neighboring dwelling. Figure 1 in the planning report paints a great visual representation of that request. The barn and manure storage is located within the farm building cluster and provides operational efficiency. And further, in an effort to sort of anticipate some of the questions that might arise, there's a series of vacant checkerboard lots fronting the subject lands, which are zoned site-specific agricultural A31275, which essentially talks about achieving MDS compliance, as well as having the appropriate lot standards, including things like size and frontage, etc., before a building permit can ultimately be rendered. So as a result, the lots are not developable until, at the very least, that particular zone is lifted, and most likely some kind of lot line adjustment is done. So with that said, planning staff have no concerns with the application as the request is minor and meets the intent of the official plan as well as the zoning bylaw amendment. And with that, I welcome any questions.
Thank you. Now I shall move on to our committee member Sheik, if you have any questions or concerns.
Through you, Chair Whittam. I did a site visit just today on this property. You know, you drive by it all the time, but there is the row of trees, so I actually had to stop and take a look. But I think it's a good location, just built based on the building cluster of the existing buildings, and I don't have any questions with this application whatsoever.
Thank you. Member Stanners, do you have any questions or concerns?
Yes, thank you through you, Chairperson. Coming back to these 20 or 30 lots across the front, have the owners of those lots been notified of this application?
I believe that would go back to our clerk, or
I can take that question, but it's not that I don't do it. Michelle does it, but she definitely will have notified all the required neighbors, property owners.
and our planner, Matthew Doe.
And I could be mistaken, perhaps Mr. Coster can step in here, but I do believe their family does own a portion of those lots, if that alleviates any of the councilors' concerns or committee members' concerns.
Yeah, we own every other one from Moorfield all the way over till the lots get deeper, close to the Drayton Palmerston Road. So we own every other one in there.
Any other questions or concerns, member Stanners?
No, I don't think so. I just didn't want it that anybody else that happened to own one of these lots, but it looks like it's been taken care of. I really appreciate that there is that big row of spruce trees along there. A windbreak and a sightline break does wonders for this application, I think. Thank you.
Perfect. I myself have no questions or concerns either. It's pretty straightforward and again, a great location for it. So just asking again, if anyone else has any questions or concerns. Seeing none. So I believe I have a recommendation from our committee and a recommendation that the minor variance apply to for in application A202105 located at 7168 Wellington Road 10, legally described as concession 10, part lot 9, RP 60R3006, part 4, 8, and 12, to provide the following relief as proposed. The new barn MDS2 setbacks to type A uses proposed to 200 meters or 655 feet. The new manure tank MDS2 setbacks to type A uses proposed 231.6 meters or 760 feet. Again, any questions or concerns, clarification? Seeing none, I will call the question. All those in favor?
Do
Sorry,
you have a,
yes,
sorry, Eric,
member Sheik?
do you have a mover?
Oh,
Do you-
yes, thank you very much. May I have a mover for this motion?
I will move that.
Member Sheik, seconded by member Stanners. Now I shall call the question again. Do you want me to read again the full thing? We're okay. So call the question. All those in favor? All those against? The motion is carried. So again, we, the committee, have found 4 tests have been considered and met, that the variance is minor in nature. The variance requested is desirable for the appropriate development of use of lands, buildings, or structure. The variance maintains the general intent and purpose of the official plan. The variance maintains the general purpose and intent of the zoning bylaw. So at this time, we find our circulation, our attendance has been recorded, and that the hearing for minor variance A202105 is now concluded. And Mr. Coster, just to let you know, the appeal period will expire on Tuesday, June the 1st, 2021 for this application then.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So that concludes that former portion of our public meeting and moves us into number 6 of general business. Circulation of remuneration sheet. I believe it's being recorded. Correct?
That's correct, Lori. It's all recorded, and you've saved me some money today with just the 3 of you.
Thanks. And upcoming hearing dates, the 3rd Wednesday in June, which would be June the 16th. And it does look like we will be having a hearing.
Michelle says, I believe, Michelle, you have a couple of applications so far?
Yes, actually, we have 3.
Perfect.
And
Good.
as you've noted, Chairperson Lori, that obviously we're normally the 2nd Wednesday, but in this case, it's the 3rd Wednesday.
Right. Okay. Perfect. So signing of the decisions. So we'll do the show of hands for clarification again, confirmation. So for hearing A202104, Riser, S and J. Again, all those who were in favor. All those against, it was passed. And hearing A 202105, Coastal Home Holsteins Inc. All those in favor? All those against, it was passed also. So yes, I will just clarify that I was very ill all weekend. Thank goodness I didn't have COVID. I had a test. I truly did think I had COVID, but it came back negative. So thank you so much, Peg, for catching my errors, because brain wasn't quite working all the way. So I appreciate it. And I hope everyone else does stay safe, wear a mask, get your vaccine if you can. And I look forward to seeing you all in June. Maybe one of these days we will have back to our meetings where we get to meet together, but otherwise it'll probably be on Zoom again. So take care. Thank you very much. The meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.